We just celebrated, or you just celebrated, the 25th anniversary of you breaking Lou Gehrig's record, and I know you reflected back on that you feel like it was yesterday when you accomplished that, and you can't believe that it's 25 years since that feat happened.
Well, I guess I can believe it when I threw out the first pitch to my now 27-year-old son, and he was 2 years old when it happened the first time. So that gave me perspective, but. Some things happen in your life that are surreal, and you remember them crystal clear for the rest of your life. This is one of those moments where I can go back into it, get that same feeling that you had standing out there in the middle of the fifth inning with everyone clapping. And I tell you what, there was one added thing this year, going back and reliving it in many ways. I lost my dad to lung cancer, way back in 99, I believe. And when I saw him in the video after I watched the broadcast, kind of, for me personally, it brought him back to life in a little different way and reminded me, of our relationship. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it doesn't really get any better than that. And I know for me, being a 38-year-old, I remember watching that in my teen years and just turning 13, whatever it was. And I was like, wow, that was 25 years ago. I felt old at that moment, looking back on that. But that was something that, as a fan, I know for you, living it and it being you, that was just one of those moments that was etched in my memory, you running around the field. And I don't know, there was a special nature to that. It was something that we're never going to see again as well, which has got to make you feel good that this is something that I don't believe or anybody believes can be duplicated.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel about reunions and certain anniversaries. I'm sure you can't forget some anniversaries in your life. But I was always of someone that didn't really want to look back, wanted to look forward, keep moving forward. And I remember telling the sports writers at the time, and they said, how do you think this is going to be seen in history? How do you want to be remembered? All these things. And I told them, at some point in my life, I'll be in a position to sit in a rocking chair or a porch swing and start to reflect on, your life. I think I'm there now. I was in a porch swing the other day, the 25th anniversary. But there are certain moments in your life that stick, and they're real. And the one thing I'm proud of is a lot of people shared their streaks with me during that time frame, and the principle of showing up every day, people value. And I thought that was a really one of the best parts of that. And so when I think back on it, there's a lot of good, fond memories. There's some specific memories. I got a chance to celebrate in the middle of a game, with everybody, including the California Angels whole team, which I had a bunch of teammates that were on that roster as well. So there's just so many different moments that come back to you. And I really enjoyed it this time. I mean, normally I don't, like looking back. But, this time I've really enjoyed going back and watching the broadcast and remembering. Talking
to the true Iron Man, Cal Ripken, no matter what he says or what kind of jokes he tries to throw our way, and we don't understand. We just lost two Hall of Famers, Lou Brock and Tom Seaver. And I'm assuming because your career started in 81, you probably saw Seaver, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I crossed over with him. He was, one thing I remember, a fierce competitor.
Yep.
And he came over to the White Sox after the Orioles and the White Sox had their little rivalry. We beat them to go to the World Series in '83, and I got hit intentionally in that series by Tony La Russa. Tony La Russa didn't actually physically do it, but that was all part of the plan. Rich Dotson hit me, and then the next year, every time I came into Chicago, I looked over and saw Tony La Russa, and I was extra motivated to do well. So Tom Seaver came in that year. I think I hit 3 homers off of him. But I remember after I did that, he moved me back off the plate a little bit. He kind of looked at me, and we had a pretty good battle after that. So I remember him, even at that stage of his career, he was intense, and he was a fierce competitor.
And how about Lou Brock? Did you? I'm sure you got to meet him a couple times, at least a few times at the Hall of Fame, and any recollection of running into him and what kind of impact he had on the game?
Yeah, and I was going to look that up again because I crossed over with Carl Yastrzemski, which a lot of people think, wow, you played against Carl Yastrzemski? And I'm thinking, I don't think I crossed over with Lou Brock in the very beginning, but I was going to look that up. But I've had a chance to spend some time with him at the Hall of Fame, the induction ceremonies. Very class guy, very humble, in many ways, for all the things that he was able to accomplish. That's one of the great things about going to the Hall of Fame and the induction ceremonies. Personally, you get to sit around and get to know the other guys, and then you often find out how great they are. And Lou Brock certainly was as good as it gets.
You into this 60-game season? Are you on the edge of your seat every day, or is it just hard to adjust to?
I'm jumping in and out. I'll find myself jumping in and watching, pretty intently and trying to figure out where we are. I don't have to do that as a broadcaster anymore, so you end up doing more retirement type things. But I always find it interesting. I've been watching a lot more basketball here lately
Really?
because the excitement has gotten in. And I'm curious that when you're faced with these challenges that COVID has given to sports leagues, how you doing it? The whole idea of being in a bubble for at the basketball and how they control that. Hockey was in 2 cities, and they were controlling it that way. Baseball has a lot more challenges and how they're going about it, and even how the playoff structure might end up. It's just really interesting to me because some of the ideas that you might come up with in this challenging time, they might stick. They might move forward. Billy and I, my brother Billy and I, have always talked about. We always thought the World Series should be in the same location, and it's played 7 straight days, no home field advantage for either team. And then the depth of your team and how you play in that 7-game series will build in a way for baseball that might be different, than other sports.
Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the red bell so you're notified when we have new content.